Hey guys, welcome to the Money Mix podcast number 4. Thank you guys for joining us again. And you're with Al and Stan. Stan, take it away.
Yes. So today the Fed raised the interest rate again to 25 basis points more. What do you think is going to happen with this continuous raising of the rates, Al?
I think that this is going to cause lots of problems at this point. I feel like they're continuously doing it, and it seems like every time they raise the rate, they say there's not going to be any more. We're good. This is going to stabilize everything, and the
Right.
house prices is going to fix so much stuff. And then they're like, oh yeah, by the way, the inflation is still going up. So
Right.
I,
Right. Well, I mean, they're trying to get inflation down to 2% a year. And with continuous, raising of the rates, I just have a feeling that it's going to cause a lot of problems, especially in the employment sector, right? And not only employment, but the banks as well. I mean, so far, I think we've seen 3 banks fail, and I think that's actually a pretty light number. I think that we're going to go up to way more than just that. So 25 basis points may not seem a lot, but when you add to the 5% that they already raised, I mean, it's pretty significant.
no, it's huge. If you're
Yeah,
buying anything right now that is whatever, if you're getting a loan for anything right now for 20,000 to 100,000, whether it's a car,
yeah,
whether it's a house, whatever you're buying, you're seeing the difference now versus the loan that you could have gotten only a few years ago, which was just so
absolutely.
much lower. Yeah, it just
Absolutely. I mean, I think this hinders people from making big purchases like cars and homes, right? So from the lows of like maybe like 2 point something percent
yeah.
to right now the highs of 5 something percent. Remember, this is just the borrowing rate that a bank actually gets. This is not an individual person that gets like 5.25, for example.
Right,
No,
exactly.
this is the bank, and then what the bank does, it tax on their own interest rate, which is the margin that they make. So we're talking about potentially like 6.5, 7%. And so when you look at it from that perspective, let's say like you were able to afford a $600,000 home back when the interest rates were like 3%, right? So now the home prices have gone up to like 600,000. I mean, there's no way you're going to be able to afford it. So you're going to have to look for a really cheap house to buy, right? I
Well,
mean, it's really
right,
difficult right now.
and right now you're seeing conversations in regards to the debt ceiling in general, where it seems like the president wants to continue increasing the debt, as
Yeah,
basically he's been doing a lot and he wants to do. It just feels, even if you agree with his spending, you have to see that when inflation is high, us spending $1 trillion here and $1 trillion there
yeah.
has actual effects on the economy. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
not like, I remember when the crash happened in 2008, and people were going crazy. Like, we're going to give $600 billion to these companies. That was 600 billion. We have in the last few years spent trillions of dollars on, most people couldn't even tell you, infrastructure, whatever that means at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
And but
That's
our inflation just keeps on going up and up and up,
yeah.
and we
Well,
still are talking about increasing spending. It's just I don't know.
I mean, technically, like the dollar is really dying right now, and there are a lot of countries like China and Russia who are going away from using the dollar to, for example, purchase oil, right, or gasoline. They're going away from that, and they're trying to use their own money to do so. So, I mean, this. in no way helps out the economy with adding, another 25% basis points. I think something else is going to break. I think that, potentially another bank, maybe bigger, is going to fail, and that's going to potentially start a cascading effect. So, I mean, this is really, really bad. I think that potentially, and maybe I'm wrong, but potentially, they're going to freeze the interest rate hike soon. That's what I think. And eventually,
Wait. What do you mean by freeze? Do you mean like
well,
they're not going to raise it anymore
yeah.
or lower it, or you mean
Well, no, no. I think first they're gonna stop lowering it. I mean, first they're gonna stop raising it. Okay, because I mean, think
they
about.
kind of have to at this point? But yes, go ahead.
Right, right. I mean, think about it. We started from 75, then 50. Now we're going down to 25. I mean, so what I'm thinking is that they're gonna have no other choice. Something between now and potentially November is going to break. And when it does, I think the Fed is going to pivot, and they're going to have no other choice but to stop. But not only that, they're going to have to reverse. That's
Mhm.
what I think. They're going to have to lower the interest rates again. So I don't know. What do you think, Al? You think that's a possibility or not?
Of them having to do it all over again,
What do you
or
mean?
you mean of the crashing of other banks?
No, no, no. Well, the whole thing, well, it's not only banks, right? So the food
Right.
prices
That's
are gonna the food prices are gonna go up. Companies are gonna go out of business. People are gonna lose more jobs, right? Because what they're saying is the unemployment rate is actually pretty low at 3%, but they're not really factoring in somebody who is not on the unemployment spreadsheet in a sense, right? So
right. Right. Exactly. They're not counting people that went on welfare. They're not counting everything else that goes into it. They're
right,
just counting people who are specifically unemployed. You know,
right, right.
like that. That's a very different number. Because
Exactly.
there's a lot of people that fell behind and went on welfare and because they need
Well,
it.
well, a lot of people don't even know when they say unemployment, they don't mean like not having a job. What they're saying is that unemployment equals the unemployment office sending you a check. So if
Right,
you're
exactly.
if you're
Exactly.
not getting the check, then you're not unemployed. That's bullshit. That's really for stupid people, right? Which like you have to do your research to actually know that that's not what they mean. But no, so I'm asking you whether you think that things are going to break and force a lot of companies into bankruptcy along with banks, whether that particular moment in time is going to have the Fed reverse their stance on increasing the interest rate.
Um, it's hard to say that like no companies are going to go out of business. There's definitely going to be companies that will go out of business. Will it be as catastrophic as what you're saying? Probably not to the degree that at least you described, but there definitely will be companies that will fail. There's definitely going to be more and more issues with raising the rate. And I feel like who really are going to feel it the most, it's not really even the bigger companies, because I think like the bigger companies like Apple and Amazon and all that, they're going to be absolutely fine. And
Right.
I think and the banks are going to be fine. Even if they need a bailout, they're going to be fine. It's
No,
really the individuals that are really going to be screwed by this.
yes, they're gonna
And
be screwed. You're right. They are gonna be screwed. But my question really is that okay, look, they continue to raise the interest rate, right? We know that there is a ceiling for everyone, right? Let's say you have a mortgage, you're paying $2,000 a month, right?
Mhm.
And it's a variable interest rate. Let's say they continuously each month they keep on raising, raising, raising. Let's say all of a sudden it's $3,000 a month, and then you can't pay for it, right? You can't. So you're gonna default on that. So the same thing goes for banks, same thing goes for businesses, right? So what I'm asking you from your perspective is, do you think that the Fed will pivot when something breaks only? Like, will they say, "Listen, guys, we messed up. Now we're gonna reverse."
That
You know
was
what I
funny.
mean?
I understand what you mean, but that was funny. Will will the Fed pivot? Yes. Will
Okay.
they say, guys, we fucked up? No.
Okay.
I don't. I
Right.
genuinely don't know of any time any federal official said that.
Right.
Like
Right. Right.
like that's not a thing. It doesn't matter what they do, it doesn't matter how they do it, they'll find the silver lining and they'll focus on that. So instead of
Right.
saying, oh yeah,
Absolutely.
we have a high unemployment right now, but, and they'll
Yeah.
find something positive
Well,
about it, you know.
Well, it's going to be like we have a high unemployment rate, but in 6 months it's going to go away, right? Because
Right.
you know what I
It's
mean.
something. It's temporary. Let's blame
It
the
is.
previous administration, and the
It is.
new administration is going to blame the previous administration, and
Yeah.
no one ever takes ownership of
Well,
anything, and that's why no one ever goes to jail in our government.
no, I agree with you, but it's always temporary. They know as long as they don't extend the unemployment like they did in 2019, which I got, right? I got really
Hmm.
lucky
Hmm.
when I got fired. That at that particular time we were going through the mortgage crisis, and they actually extended unemployment for 2 years.
Yeah,
So
that's insane.
that was really in the same period of time. But the question is, if that happens again, will they actually do that? I mean, I think they probably might do that, but they could also not necessarily. They could. They probably will give UBI, which is Universal Basic Income, to most everybody anyway.
Yeah. But
You know,
that's not a
so
thing that's happening right now, though. I mean,
now,
right now, the focus is really going to be about people like literally losing their jobs, and that
yeah,
is what's happening. I mean, if you look at like the big companies like firing thousands, whether it's Amazon and Facebook and Twitter and so on and so forth. You look
yeah.
at like we're talking about so many people that were fired in just months period. So
Absolutely. It's crazy, but think about this. Like, they continuously are raising the rates, right? I mean, Chairman Powell, he thinks everything's fine. Everything is great. The banks are in great condition. That's what he said today. The banks are in great condition. The unemployment is only at 3%. I think we're doing, a great job. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, he's completely ignoring the fact that a lot of people lost their jobs. I mean, he's saying there's so many jobs out there that are hard to fill. Yeah, like the cheap jobs. You know what I mean? The ones that pay you minimum wage. I completely agree with you. There are probably a lot of those jobs that have openings, but we're talking about like high tech jobs, that pay you more money, in various sectors. A lot of people have lost their jobs just because the tech sector right now is not performing well. So I think what they're trying to do is I think they're completely trying to break the economy, and I think they will do that. They will break the
all
economy
right,
this year. Oh, wait.
I'm not going with like
Well, you're
like
not
yeah,
going. You're
they're
not
trying
going.
to but come on, we're not gonna have a conversation in regards to the high rate and they're willfully trying to break the economy. That's
They're,
really where we're heading with this.
they're trying to break the economy, and when they do break the economy, they're going to have to go back to the table, and they're going to have to reverse things. So what I feel from let's say today up until November, I think is that period of time where the Fed is going to pivot. Something bad is going to
Well,
happen.
okay.
you know
The pivot is one thing. Breaking economy, I think it's the words there like mean actually something. Breaking the economy means
well,
bankruptcy, meaning
no,
default. It
no,
means all of that kind of stuff. So I'm
no,
like,
I don't think. Okay, let me make it clear. Okay, it's going to seem like they broke the economy, and then they're going to go back to the table like they did in 2009, and they're going to say, listen, guys, we're going to have to reverse. That's what I'm trying to say. They're not going to let it go to the point of like complete destruction.
anarchy.
That's
Okay, all right, okay.
they're gonna make it.
That's what I wanted to clarify.
That's what I'm saying. They're gonna make it seem like it's so dire, but then they're gonna come back with a solution. And I think we're going to go on such a huge bull run that everyone is just going to go mad. They're going to be so, in my opinion, at least, they're going to be so pissed off because a lot of people right now, as far as investments go, they're on the sideline, right? Because they're scared. What do you think, Al? Do you think a lot of people are just like holding back, not investing right now?
Of course, of course. I mean, not everyone, but yeah, I would think that right now most people are not thinking about investments. They're thinking more about how they're going to pay for stuff, and
Yeah,
if they
exactly.
need to get a loan, if they need to do something. So I feel
Yeah,
like it's more dire for most people, and the only time you're really thinking about investments is when you're comfortable. And if you're
you
if you're comfortable, then yeah, you might be thinking about that. But even now, I would still say there's a lot of people that are uncertain what's going to happen in the stock market, what's going to
yeah,
happen with cryptos, what's going to happen there, and there's
yeah.
still a lot of uncertainty there. And sometimes this is where you get in and you thrive from that, and people are afraid that if they come
Oh,
in right now, they might burn from that. So
I
uh,
mean, like, what's it called? Warren Buffett, okay? The way that he invests is when there's blood on the street, he goes after it. And there's going to be a lot of blood on the streets left between today and November.
man,
There
what
will
is
be.
what
I'm
is
telling you.
what is with your
What?
descriptions of
That's how.
like
Hey,
the economy will, they're trying to break the economy to
hey,
there be blood on the streets. I
right. These
understand what
are
you're saying. I understand the metaphor you're trying to use, but man, the description you're using is just like, all right, what they're going to do by raising the rate hike is they're going to cut off people's heads right at the neck. You know, it's
oh,
like I
okay.
I, I get what you're saying, but you're like,
You just added that one. No, but these
yeah,
are
yeah,
the
no, I know. I give an example of you
all
going
right.
overboard with your descriptions.
Well, it's not me necessarily. I'm just using the terms that other analysts use. So, yeah, these are not my
I don't know.
terms. Well, I'm just telling you, these are not my terms. But what I am predicting is that November December period
Hmm.
after the blood runs dry, that we're gonna go on such a tear. The stock market, the crypto market, the gold market is gonna go insane, and people are gonna start chasing it. And that's when, a lot of the people are going to lose their minds, honestly, because why didn't I get in on it when it was like dirt cheap, right?
But that
And
always happens, right? Whenever
yeah,
whenever any market goes up, it's always, oh man, if I only did that.
yeah.
That that's never anything new.
Oh,
But
but by
go
the
ahead.
way, sorry guys. By the way, this is not financial advice. We're not financial advisors. We never give any financial advice.
If you're listening right now, hearing him talk about blood on the streets, and you're going like, that's some good financial advice, think twice. All right,
Right,
think
exactly.
twice.
This is
Okay.
not financial advice, and we are never
No, no,
financial advisors. So,
no, not like, again. That's a really weird thing. It's like if you go like, I heard this guy talk about blood in the streets, and he made a really good point. I invested. That's like, no, but to turn this discussion, I feel like there's going to be a shift. Whether you're right on the timetable, I have no clue. I don't know when that will happen, but there has to be a shift. They can't keep on raising the rate hike, and hopefully, and again, just at least going on the positive side. I hope that, for example, you said this, the markets go up, everybody starts making good money, and hopefully people could jump on the bandwagon and make
yeah.
some money, even if you're late to the club. So that's
Okay.
basically it.
So, what do you see? Do you see them continuing to raise rates, or do you think that this is just the last one?
I I'm crossing my fingers here and hoping it's actually the last one instead of them
Okay,
just
but
saying it's the
but
last one.
okay. What would
Yes,
you say? What would you say?
I'll say I'll look the positive side. I'll say yes.